Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brandon, and I represent the Safety and Security Department for Apex Predator National Park, APNP, located on Island Nublar in the state of Narnia. My company is contracted to oversee the protection of visitors, employees, and tourists while in the jurisdiction of APNP. This will take place during the 5 wolf pack initial introduction and will remain in effect until substantial evidence of repopulation has occurred. The primary duties of our stakeholders are to ensure the peace and mind of people's safety while visiting and working in the park. We are pro introduction of the wolf packs into the park for the sake of restoring the native species and help bring the wolves closer to being removed from the endangered species list. Wolves have a significant effect on the ecosystem. Studies conducted in Yellowstone National Park have shown a phenomenon called trophic cascade. Trophic cascades are an ecological process that start from the top of the food chain and create significant changes in the ecosystem as it trickles downward. Years before the introduction of wolves, there was an overabundance of elk. The elk literally grazed most of the plant life that other creatures needed to sustain their own habitat. If you watch the YouTube video, How Wolves Change Rivers, you can see how with wolves regulating the elk, the effect it had on other wildlife to restart its natural cycles. We need wolf packs in our park to help control prey and maintain natural balance of nature. It was long thought that all balance starts from plants and the little organisms that feed on them. But research has shown that this isn't always the case when dealing with all ecosystems. With apex predators, the order of balance is in reverse, and it is that these predators that help the sustainment of life in the wild. Everything in APNP will benefit with the introduction of wolves. Wolves create carrion that help feed predatory scavenging birds. Bears also benefit when food is scarce. When wolves control grazing populations, natural erosion and shrubbery from these animals recreate different food sources and habitats for a multitude of different species. Everyone wins. The question about what happens when the 5 wolf packs become too many and start to encroach upon private owned lands. Livestock and personal property start to become an issue. Partial answer to this is the tracking and monitoring of all wolves introduced in the park. Yellowstone used to use GPS tracking collars to help locate and control when the wolves moved. The same can be done in Apex Predator National Park. If the wolf packs become too much of a problem, relocation of certain individuals can be conducted to help control the population. Wolf packs also have a natural order of hierarchy internally, and self-regulation is an anticipated control measure. Narnia is a great state with enough land for all of us to coexist. It is like a magical wardrobe full of wonders and potential. By allowing the wolf packs to thrive in our park, we're not only creating change for betterment of these endangered species, but most of all, for Narnia.